Hello and welcome back to Nitecap. I'm Josh Rimmer on nextsportstar.com. Joining me on the line right now, newest Toronto Blue Jays pitcher, R.A. Dickey. R.A., thanks for taking the time to be with us.
Glad to do it. No problem.
R.A., how excited are you to be coming to play for the Toronto Blue Jays after this team went and beefed up in the offseason?
Well, immediately I'm excited because I think we have a real chance to be a winning team, and not just a winning team for 1 year, but a winning team for multiple years. I think Alex Anthopoulos saw a chance to go for it, and he should be commended. He's taken a chance. A lot of organizations get to the point where they get so wrapped up in development, they never take the chance, and so I think we've got a real shot at it.
Now, did you know any of the guys on the team prior to being traded there?
I played with Jose Reyes. I played with Brandon Morrow. So I know a few of the guys, and I've certainly played against most of them at one point or the other. Now it'll take some getting to know, but I'm excited to have some new teammates to get to know and see what we can do together.
Now, what are your plans for the next couple months, R.A.? Will you be in Toronto soon?
I'm planning on trying to get up to Toronto right after Christmas for an informal press conference and to look around the communities a little bit to see where it might be a good place to live for my family and I, and just get a sense of the culture while we're there as much as we can, and then from there on it'll just be getting ready for spring training.
Omar Minaya, who was the GM in New York, an old friend of yours who gave you a chance with the Mets. What exactly did Omar mean to you?
Well, I think what Omar meant was a comfort level, an immediate comfort level. That's one of the reasons I came to the Mets in the first place in 2010. I had some offers, but I knew Omar from my days as a Texas Ranger, and we had a relationship there. And so I thought that was worth something. And, it turned out that he was a guy who was in my corner and wanted to give me a shot. And, I'm so thankful that he did, because it ended up being an opportunity that was life-changing.
Now, how did you refine your knuckleball, and how different is it from others who throw that pitch?
Well, I refined it simply by hard work. I mean, I just, I was lucky enough to tutor under Charlie Hough, Tim Wakefield, and Phil Necro, three of the best knuckleballers ever. And I just tried to be a sponge as much as I could, learn what I can, and then I introduced my own personality to what those guys taught me, and my own personality calls for me to throw the pitch just a little bit harder than those other guys. I have a little bit more arm strength, having been a conventional pitcher, and I think that's what might separate me a little bit from those guys. But those guys throw incredible knuckleballs. I mean, anytime you are able to consistently throw the ball to the plate with about a quarter revolution on it, the guys can read the writing on the baseball. I mean, it's hard to do. It's a very hard craft to get to be consistent. Those guys really went a long way in helping me do that.
And Charlie Hough obviously played a big part in helping you out with your knuckleball.
Yeah, no, Charlie Hough was the first guy I learned under, and he changed my grip the first day I saw him, and I've used that same grip from 2006 till now, and it's really served me well. And he's also been an incredible resource over the course of a season, so that if I am struggling, there's not a lot of guys who can teach the pitch. And so instead of having my pitching coach, I have a few pitching coaches, and three of them are the guys that I tutored under. And so it's nice to have those guys as a resource.
R.A., looking at your career, did you ever envision being where you are today?
Well, I certainly envisioned having success. I don't know if I envisioned, just having such a magical season. I mean, I'll always look back over the 2012 season as a season that was just overwhelmingly positive outside of our team results with the New York Mets. But, I was able to do a lot of things I'd always dreamed about doing, whether it was climb a mountain, Kilimanjaro, or write a book, or, things like that. And I had a good year on the field, and so it's going to always be, in reflection, a magical year for me. So I'm hoping that, the magic's not going to fade, and I'm going to be able to continue to be consistent for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Speaking of the book, R.A., you recently released that book. It's called Wherever I Wind Up, My Quest for the Truth Authenticity and the Perfect Knuckleball, which was written by New York journalist Wayne Coffey. Tell us a little bit about the book and how people can find it.
Yeah, well, Wayne Coffey and I collaborated on that book. I had been writing on that book well before I knew Wayne. I have an English literature background at the University of Tennessee, so I've always been passionate about literature and the written word, and I always wanted to write a book. I just didn't know how that would manifest. And my relationship with Wayne was great. I would write 5,000-6,000 words. I'd send it to him. He'd edit it, and then he'd send it back to me, and we'd talk about it. So I got to be part of the process in a way that is not very common for athletic memoir. I really wanted to write my own story, and he was so beneficial in helping me get that story out there. So it's a great collaboration. You can pick up the book on Amazon or at any just about any bookstore. Soon to be probably around the Toronto area, at least I think, and for sure online.
Now, one of the things, R.A., you talk about in the book is about being sexually abused as a young child. I've had and had numerous conversations with Theo Fleury, who went through kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
How tough was it for you to come out in the book and talk about that?
Well, it was probably one of the most grueling endeavors I had ever attempted to try to process through the pain of something like that, and an effort to possess equipment that you can articulate it to people. And that took a long time to do. And I was working on myself for a good 4 years before I ever put pen to paper about that. So it's and it's not for everybody. I mean, it's I felt a real conviction to share my story. I'm a big proponent of the human narrative, and for me, I felt a real conviction to write about my own story. I felt like I had something to say, and not only was it an incredibly cathartic experience for me and freeing, but it was also an opportunity to share with people in an effort to help them learn from my mistakes and hopefully get to the other side of some demons that might be chasing them.
And you also have, I read somewhere that you have a book deal that you might write 2 more books. Is that true?
Yeah, I signed a deal with Dial Publishing, which is an imprint of Penguin Press, and that is to write a young adult reader of a memoir for ages 10 and up.
Well, that's awesome.
It's also to write 2 children's books, picture books for young kiddos, and so I'm in the process of doing that. It's something I really enjoy, and hopefully we'll be able to pick those up this coming spring.
Now, one thing, R.A., you got to do, which was really cool. What was it like to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and why was it important to you to do that?
Well, Kilimanjaro is the highest point in all of Africa. So it's 19,300 feet, give or take a few hundred feet, maybe. So it was a quest I set out on in an effort to raise money for an organization called the Bombay Teen Challenge, which rescues young girls and women from sex slavery and human trafficking in Mumbai, India. And because of my own narrative, I've always felt, called to help charities that deal with the sexual exploitation of other people, and whether it's charities supporting sexual abuse or the stopping of sexual abuse, I should say, or something like stopping human trafficking. That's been always a big deal to me. So we were able to raise $100,000 with the climb, and I'm going to India with my girls in about a month to see what that money's been able to do, and hopefully serve over there. So it should be a fun experience for everybody.
Well, that's definitely a great cause. And R.A., just want to thank you again for doing this today. Really appreciate it. All the best to you.